Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cultured Cabbage. Sorry if I'm not doubting myself. I have recently been a little under the weather. I'm feeling better now, but we're once again here to bring you the news. Along with my friends Carl and Jacob. This is your favorite Southern California son.
Howdy, hello everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going? How's it going?
I'm doing
Hey,
good.
oh, that's great to hear. Great to hear. How about you? How about you, Carl?
I'm fine.
You want to tell the audience what happened recently, or no?
No, that's not for our audience to know.
Fair enough.
You guys have to guess in the comment section what it is.
I'll give you a clue. It begins with E.
Shut up, you idiot.
It's something on the calendar to remember.
Okay. On to DC, since that's my
We're
usual
gonna
job.
start. We're not gonna start yet. Hold on.
It begins with P and ends with E, and then another E.
Free?
Yes, Jacob. Free.
Free.
Oh.
I'm illiterate. I can't tell.
Yeah, no, you're dyslexic. That's what you are.
Yeah, I can't read.
Know what a better term for that is, DJ?
What?
Jacob's just a moron.
And
Get absolutely bootied on.
no.
But yes, Carl, would you like to bring us the DC news?
Yes. So, Bedrock, a new spin-off of the Flintstones, has been picked up for a pilot at Fox. Bedrock catches. It just says
go ahead.
The Bedrock catches up with the family 2 decades later, with Fred on the brink of retirement and 20-something Pebbles embarking on her own career.
I mean, I'm a fan of the Flintstones, so I'll probably give it a watch. But
I'm not personally.
the last Flintstone show they made, didn't that get canceled?
Only live action. This is a live action project, by the way, not
This
an
is
anime.
live action.
And I think the last live action project they had was those not very good movies in the 90s.
Wait, there was two of them?
Yeah, I think so at least.
I know there was the one with John Goodman.
No, there's one where they went to Vegas.
Oh yeah. I know. Okay, yeah. It's all
And
coming back to me now.
And the cast is Stephen Root as Fred, Amy Saraya as Wilma, Nicole Breyer as Betty, Joe Lo Toledo as Barney, and Manny Tardino, I think that's how I say this guy's name, as Bam Bam.
Jacinto.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Bam Bam? Is that the little kid? Oh,
That's Barney's kid.
Oh, it's one of them.
Hey, Fred.
Why they go to Kermit the Frog?
No.
Hey, Fred, man.
But time to go over to the animation world now. James Gunn has says they are working on getting Wonder Woman into more animated content. He was quoted as saying, "I agree, there's ain't enough of her in this area," and was one of the first things I brought up to the animation folks.
I actually agree with him on this point. If y'all go to HBO Max and look at like the animated DC movies, you know, you got a ton of Batman movies, you got a ton of Superman movies, but only 2 Wonder Woman movies.
Yeah.
And one of them was like from 2009. So
The one
honestly,
with Amazon Blood the Amazon, is that one of them or something?
no. The first one was just called Wonder Woman. The other one was Bloodlines.
Yep.
Oh.
It was for it was for the DC AMU universe, which was the New 52 that ended with the death with a Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
With everyone dying.
Or pretty close to everyone dying.
That movie is really sad. Don't watch it.
But
go watch it. It has a lot of glorious death.
But I have seen the 2 animated Wonder Woman movies, and I think they're both very underrated. So honestly, I'd love to see more Wonder Woman animated movies. I'm all for that.
Yeah. While that's on the table, you may recommend a Blue Beetle animated movie.
No,
that'd be good.
No,
you don't think so?
No.
No.
No, Diabito.
Michael Shannon praises Anthony Machini's work with Zod in The Flash. He was quoted as saying, "Everybody who worked with him just adored him. He was very creative. I mean, much like Snyder was, and very, very visual. He's a brilliant artist."
Look, I've been hearing a lot of good things, surprisingly, about The Flash. Like, about, obviously, other than he who shall not be named. other aspects of the movie. But honestly, I'm not even gonna mention it until I at least see it. I know before I said that I'm just not gonna see it at a protest, but when it comes to HBO Max, maybe I'll give it a watch. But I'm definitely not going to go see it in theaters.
Because I think the theater showed direct support. Yeah.
Speaking, I gotta love James Gunn because he's good at dispensing the rumors.
James
DC
Gunn has
Studios.
the mouth of Tony Khan.
DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn took to Twitter to reveal the truth about a rumor regarding the casting of Lois Lane in the upcoming DCU movie Superman Legacy. He was quoted as saying, "No, a casting director has not been hired yet."
So they pretty much got almost next to no one for this movie casted so far.
I don't think they're done right. I don't think Gunn's done writing it yet.
And yeah, probably not time for casting yet.
It's be very bad if you have someone casted before you have your script done yet. That's putting
Wait,
the
okay,
cart
no,
before
that's
the
not
horse.
true. That's not true. Actually, you know the movie Home Alone? That movie was
Yeah.
actually written with Macaulay in mind.
Okay, I didn't say they couldn't have an actor in mind, but they haven't even hired casting for everyone else. They could have an idea who they want for Superman, but for Lois, I don't think it would have anyone thought for that one. But
That's
Kevin
Fair
is
enough.
the main character in the movie.
Because I know,
Yes,
like,
yes.
when they were writing for like the genie in the original Aladdin, they based it off of Robin Williams sketches. So obviously they wanted to hire him.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that they had all the casting down for like
Yeah, yeah,
Aladdin
yeah.
and whoever her name is.
Jasmine.
Jasmine, yes.
Uh,
And Jafar.
And Iago, played by Gilbert Gottfried.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. I loved you as Mr. Mixius Pitlick.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson has responded to Henry Cavill's Superman exit following his comeback in Black Adam. He was
Black
quoted as
Adam
saying,
family.
all that I could do and that we could do when we were making Black Adam was to put our best foot forward. That's all he said.
So,
I should say it in the voice of Dwayne Johnson
because he talks like this, apparently.
And Craig Maines and
Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann reveal that the events of Last of Us Part 2 will be more than one season.
Ooh.
Bro, The Last was Part 2.
You say that's how they're gonna milk
Why?
this. That's how they're gonna milk this series.
Because the first one wasn't the first season like just a huge success.
Oh
I mean,
God,
we
yeah.
don't even know the sales numbers, but like it was extremely popular. One of the most streamed series on HBO.
I want to
After,
say it was the most.
no, in history, it's one of the most streamed in modern history.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bit of it. It's good.
I mean, I haven't seen it since I haven't played The Last of Us. I've never really had an interest in it, but it definitely, I've definitely seen people who have seen it and have really liked it. So maybe there's some measure of quality there.
But when we get to Last of Us Part 2, that's where they get to the controversy, like the more divided in the fan base stuff. Like, yeah, we all know that the controversy of like the Game of the Year awards when that game won, no one was surprised.
Yeah.
Like that Last of Us Part 2 won because it was Last of Us. It wasn't
because
actually
it was a sequel. Because it was a sequel to a really good game.
The gameplay looks good. I'm just we could talk about PlayStation its exclusives for a while, but
that's a completely different topic.
This May in DC Pride 2023, Grant Morrison and Hayden Sherman are going to tell a new multiversal story where we see how far Flashlight will go to honor his lost love. It's a psychedelic and lovely. It's cosmic and it's coming soon to a town near you. Why did I go to an 80s sound effect?
They should throw groovy in there too.
This watch will also include stories by Christopher Cantwell, Skylar Pellin, Lee Williams, Paula Garsuno,
new show.
Nadia Shaman, Becca Jones, L.A. Captain Capelin,
Josh Trujillo,
and Don Alleghino, and many more. It looks like they'll have John, Damien, not Damien either, Tim, and Dreamer in here.
I was gonna say, why'd you say Jason next? Go through all of them. You know what? Let's throw Stephanie and Carrie in here too.
And James, what do you guys think of this DC Pride issue number 1 for 2023?
I honestly don't have any hard feelings on it. I don't really care. It's like it's just a new comic.
But
I
I guess this is the best time for me to say this. I'm getting not annoyed or like burnt out, but the oversaturation of the word multiverse, like over the past few years, has really crossed my behind.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
multiverse of madness, multiverse.
the mom. but but
Yeah,
but seriously, like everything can't be, its own self-contained story. It has to be some greater multiverse.
Hate to
Or
say it, I blame DC because they started this problem.
I mean, yeah. And I guess it was fine when it was just them doing it, but now everything has to be I think I've talked to you guys about this before, but everything has to be on, at least to some degree, on a grand scale, that there's no pulling it back now, and there's no going forward because you've already hit that apex. So what the heck do you do now?
Again, I blame DC.
I mean, yeah, considering the fact that they just had super ultra mega hyper combo crisis, or whatever the heck it was called.
Dark
actually, it's pretty
Crisis. It
simple.
was
It was
that.
Dark
It
Crisis.
was Dark Crisis. The one that killed the events that you're talking about was Dark Knight Death Metal.
Yeah,
They're like, screw it, everything is canon, whatever you want. Because
and
we couldn't be bothered to set up our own continuity or have editors that pay attention to things between books.
yeah,
You
and
know
obviously
that
see,
that's the importance of an editor. An editor keeps things in line. Like,
and everything is just so willy nilly nowadays.
it's outrageous in my opinion.
Like I know for a long time comics have been sort of not lawless, because obviously they've had to follow, Comics Code Authority, all that kind of stuff. But nowadays it just feels soulless.
This
Like for
reminds me of
dude,
us. We had this topic last week, if you remember, Jacob. Marvel and DC need a Kevin Feige for their Kevin Feige slash James Gunn for their Marvel and DC comics. They had them
yes.
once before. It was Dan DiDio for DC and Joe Quesada for Marvel, but DiDio's out. He got fired during 2020 and or late 2020 or early. Yeah, it was late 2020,
I
and I
realized
think
this when I
Quesada
was
just left.
I realized when I was reading, like, that I really loved it, but that old Hawkeye comic, I realized that it had continuity with the Avengers.
Mhm.
Like it was going along with the story that just happened in the Avengers. So people, they were paying attention. So if you
Yeah,
read it, you knew what was happening before. It's not that everything needs to be in a straight line.
exactly.
But they just
Because
need to be clear about where things are. It's like how like Nightwing has his whole thing, or like, and then Batman's just in another universe and no one says anything about it.
yeah,
Like, shouldn't
it's
that be a concerning issue?
and it's really hard to just keep up nowadays.
That's
Like,
one thing I'll give X-Men. X-Men is the X-Men comics, from what I've seen of them. They the reason that it's so complicated is because they literally they literally connect it all.
yeah,
Well,
they literally said, we're gonna stick to this line, come hell or high water, come whatever rider that comes. This is gonna be our continuity.
actually, that is somewhat, but it's also because one thing Marvel does that DC does, and one thing DC does that Marvel doesn't. Marvel's never had a true crisis. They never had a world altering event where they reset the entire timeline.
That is also very
DC is
true.
done. DC's had a crisis every 5 years or 2 years or half a year later.
Or just, they may do one tomorrow. Who knows?
But Marvel has had
I
the
guess what
since
it comes down to.
pretty much since when the Fantastic Four, 'cause that's really when Marvel became Marvel itself. From 19
Yeah,
whenever the Fantastic Four till now, they've had the same timeline. Just they've had stories in between to tell stories during
yeah,
that time.
But
and obviously they've had.
to make up for no multiverse, they've had some of the worst retcons in history.
Yeah. And obviously they've had stuff like the Ultimate Universe, which was kind of like a reboot, but also kind of not.
It's not a reboot, it was just a retelling. It's a retelling of
Yeah.
their more popular stories in a different way in a modern setting.
Although that didn't really pan out that well,
They,
considering
they
the
also
fact
had
that,
Marvel Knights, which was like an alternate universe, but it was pretty successful.
No, it was successful. It's just they kind of just ran it into the ground and then killed it with Secret Wars. Thank you, Hickman.
yeah, honestly, I think Marvel really could benefit from like a hard reboot. I'm not talking like a soft reboot like DC's been doing, but like a hard reboot, like start everything fresh.
They've only, honestly, DC's only done a hard reboot three times, I think.
But
Post Crisis, post Flashpoint,
no,
and
oh yeah, post Flashpoint.
Yeah, because
what's the
it's
third one
post
you're thinking of?
I might have been thinking of, I don't know what the third one I was thinking of was, but I
Yeah,
was trying.
but the main ones are post Crisis and post Flashpoint.
Well,
Which
no,
had
that's
like
not what it's
30
called.
years in
That's not
between
what
them.
it's. That's not what that one's called. It's
Rebirth.
Post Crisis and the New 52.
Oh, yeah, the New 52. But still, it
Rebirth
happened
is
after
a
Flashpoint.
Rebirth is just
So
okay. The New 52 is no longer making us money. Let's bring back some of the old crap people were complaining about.
Oh, DC, what a terrible web you wave.
It's weave.
Yeah, I got tongue twisted.
We
But
need to get back on this though.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've got off
but
on a tangent.
yeah,
That's
we'll
what we
continue.
always do.
But the last thing I just want to say about it is comics are hard to get into nowadays.
Oh
Dude,
God,
just
yeah.
just read manga, please.
Like honestly, if both companies just need a more direct path, easier to follow story, and we'd be good.
Yes, that's honestly why I feel better reading manga most of the time. It's like it makes sense to me. It
Oh,
has a start
Okay.
point and an
Okay,
end.
I hate to say it. I know we said we have to get back to it, but I will say one last thing.
yeah, go
There's
ahead.
a difference between the reason why manga works and in American comic books don't work. Manga's had the same writer pretty much for their entire story they've been telling. American comics have revolving writers.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, is actually kind of a problem.
That's the problem, and they always have to revert back to the to the status quo.
Yeah.
And that's why
So
Batman will
honestly,
always lose
not having
Gotham
so many
City.
writers, yeah, maybe not having so many writers might do them some good.
Mhm.
Just
But
spitballing.
speaking of DC, because they're still there, James Gunn says that the Batman Part 2 is coming out as early as it possibly can.
Honestly, give them as much time as possible. Don't rush it.
You didn't let me finish,
Yeah.
Jacob. He said it gives enough time for Matt Reeves to do what he needs to do.
Now, by when they say as early as possible, do they mean like I'm very curious as to what they mean by that? Because obviously he could mean in the sense that early as Matt Reeves finishes his vision, and if that's the case, then we're fine. But if it's like early as possible, I mean, look at the track record of things that have been rushed, movies that
Yeah,
have been rushed.
I think early as possible means, like not delayed.
Yeah.
Like,
Which in that case,
Like,
that's perfectly fine.
Hate to say it, like the original. The original Batman was heavily delayed.
And I know I said I didn't want to talk about it, but Flash movie's been delayed for like 4 years now.
Five.
Yeah, it was announced in 2020.
No, it wasn't. No, that movie was announced back during the original
2018?
Justice League thing.
I think it was 2018 then, right? Or when the original release date was supposed to be.
Oh, the original release date was supposed to be 2018, yeah.
And
It's
obviously
been
we are
6
not here in
years.
the year of our Lord 2023, and it's going to release now.
6 years. It still haven't come out yet.
You know when the original Batman movie was supposed to come out?
When's that?
I think it was 2017, I think. And that was back when it was a Batman versus Destro with Ben Affleck Batman in it, where it got entirely reworked into the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman movie.
That poor movie.
That's why I give that movie a lot of leeway. Like, this movie has been in production for a long time and had its main actor, and main director leave.
Yeah.
In one fell swoop, because Affleck left, and Affleck left. Yeah, that's a lot to say quickly.
It's like a toy boat. You gotta say it 5 times fast.
But honestly, did the long wait between like a main Batman movie help? I think it did.
I think it did, because I mean, before the Batman, when was the last solo Batman movie that came out?
That
2012.
was Rises in 12.
Yeah, so 10 years, a decade without a Batman movie.
And it turned out to be one of the best
With a
ones.
solo Batman movie, because technically we've had
Yeah.
Batman movies,
Yeah,
BBS
like
Okay,
and
actually, we have to
Justice League.
clarify live action, not animated, because there's been much
Anime
animated.
movies is completely different, but I'm talking like theatrical, solo, live action Batman movies. It's a 10-year gap, something that hadn't happened pre-89. Like there was like four Batman movies released in the 90s / late 80s, but you know what I'm trying to say. Then you had the Nolan trilogy. Then we waited 10 years and then there was nothing until the Batman came around. It's just crazy.
Looking something up to make sure that statement's right. It's almost 10 years between Begins and Batman and Robin. It's almost 10 years.
What's the time difference? Did Batman and Robin come out in like 96?
97.
97.
And Batman Begins came out in 2005, so it's almost 10 years. So pretty close.
Yeah, 8 years, but still, that's not the same amount of time between Rises and the Batman.
No, but back to Mr. Rock. Dwayne the Rock Johnson's reaction to the Black Adam already scored was in the 90s. Critics took a couple shots. That's just the business of it, though.
He really
Uh,
wants to defend this movie with his life, huh?
So basically, he just went, "It is what it is."
Pretty much. Well, I can to see what he's defending. He's been working on this movie since Man of Steel, and that was a 10-year project.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a fun movie, but not this.
Yeah, it was a fun movie, and after watching the Peacock series Young Rock, I have a newfound respect for Mr. Johnson.
Oh.
But it's still funny to hear him talk about Black Adam.
Jeff Lemire says he'd be down to showrun an Animal Man series based on his beloved comic run.
I've heard Animal Man is really good.
I thought Grant Morrison was like primarily known for writing Animal Man.
Jeff Lemire that created him, though.
Oh, he created him? Okay.
I guess so.
I don't know my Animal Man lore. Forgive me.
Well, neither do I. Oscar winner cinematographer Roger, that's a name I've never seen. Deakins argues Top Gun Maverick and The Batman were shut out of cinematology category at the Oscars because of snobbery.
This
And
is
actually,
too high and mighty for them.
I guess so. I've watched both those movies, and they're not bad movies.
Who won the Oscar for cinematography?
Don't know. I'll Google that right now. I didn't watch the Oscars.
I don't know who does.
Who does anymore?
Oscar
I mean,
if you're
sure,
out there,
winners.
if you're out there and you're telling me you watch the Oscars, you're lying. I refuse to believe you.
I mean, that's why I believe, last year's incident, I think that was at least partially staged. I really do, because nobody watches the Oscars anymore. And do you know how many eyes that put on the Oscars after that?
How many?
A
Nothing.
lot. After Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Those people like
Oh,
the
by the way,
the drama.
By the way, that was not staged at all. But Chris Rock was completely surprised.
I know the slap was for real, but I definitely think that at least like the publicity of it was like rubbed a bit.
Definitely. The answer to your question, the movie that won Best Cinematography was All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay, I haven't
I think it's a
watched that,
World
but
War
it
One
looks
movie.
good.
Interesting.
Next we have is Sesame Street. Whoa, God, I hate these stuff. Sesame is launching NFTs starting with a Cookie Monster collection.
That's pretty
Why
funny, in my
Sesame
opinion.
Street? Why?
Oh, DC's been making them too.
Yeah, but Sesame Street's wholesome. It's nice. Mr. Rogers was there. Do you think Mr. Rogers would want NFTs?
I don't know. You can't ask the dead guy.
Okay, then ask Tom Hanks.
Oh,
I
here's some
can't
good
believe I'm
news.
saying this.
What?
Also, consider I can't believe I'm saying this, but I disown you, Sesame Street. I disown you. Get out of my house.
Okay, I have some good news for Jacob.
Ooh, I saw it.
Tom Taylor tweeted out, "Oh, Bruno Redondo and I are not done on Nightwing yet, so no omnibus for a while, but cool to get a deluxe or two in the meantime, though. I can't wait to share what we're doing with Nightwing 105. It's a bit special."
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Turning down to, I don't think many people are reading comics anyways, but to anyone who is, they've been going since 78, and now they're on 101 or 102.
101, I think.
Yeah, so it's been almost 30 issues since they started it.
That's a lot of comics.
It is, and I own up to like 94. So I own a lot of them. I love them all. Pretty much all of them. So I'm honestly, if they do make a bigger version, I might get it because the artwork is fantastic.
Jacqueline West teases something about the Dune Part 2. She was quoted as saying, you really dive into a different worlds of Dune. We see the Empire's world looks like. We spend a lot of time on Eden Prime, the Hadian planet. We spend a lot of time in Vladimir. Good lord, Vladimir.
You know what, Jacob? Why don't you read this?
Okay, because I'm actually reading this book right now. It says, you really dive into different worlds of Dune. We see what the Emperor's world looks like. We spend a lot of time on Gaidi Prime at the Harkonnen planet. We spend a lot of time at Vladimir Harkonnen's world. I've been reading the book so far. I don't know if I'm caught up with the first movie. I'm loving it though. It is really good. As far as like, and so to me, this stuff just makes sense. But I don't know if you guys are reading, you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, when do they go to Tatooine?
This is gobbledygook.
I don't know if they're on Arrakis, but it's like a mining world basically that the other company or the other like planet wants to take power over. So it's like a whole political thing.
So it's like the U.S. and like Iran, just
Yeah,
planets.
it is. It might be based on. Well, the book was released in '67, but it might. I don't know. It's a good book though. So
I hate this next one very much.
Come on, Carl. You
Zack
got this.
Snyder has released
say
a
the thing.
mysterious video teasing April 28th through April 31st, 2023.
Say the
Zack
line,
Snyder,
Bart.
shut up!
Say the line, Bart. Restore, restore the Snyderverse.
It's like a Twitter NPC.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Now this
No.
this next one I'm happy about because I like the show. Superman and Lois returns to the CW with 750,000 viewers with this return episode.
That's not bad. That is
Yeah,
not bad at all. That's like a,
Not
I'd
bad
say
for
that's
a
like a,
dying network.
yeah, really. I think that's like a, I don't know what that is in modern day ratings. I don't know how the ratio goes.
It says here this makes it one of the most watched scripted broadcasts on the CW all season.
That's pretty good.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which came out on the day we are recording this, came out today.
St. Patrick's Day. I hope you guys had a great St. Patrick's Day.
a lot of drinking if
Cosplay.
you're of that age.
Don't drink.
Has reportedly budgeted $100 million, making it one of the DCEU's least expensive movies.
Huh. I wonder where most of the budget went. Probably to Eminem. Let's get down to business.
You know that movie looks interesting.
Back to Mr. Gunn, he responded to a tweet that said, Robert Pattinson might not appear as Batman in the Penguin series, but can still appear as Bruce Wayne or the Drifter. The TV rights for Batman are caught up in a legal limbo involving Fox, Disney, and a trio of mergers. James Gunn responded, This is not true.
Again, does this
Yes,
guy
that's
just is this guy the police of like DC misinformation? He's just sitting on Twitter all the time.
yes. Like this man is constantly patrolling like anything that's like tagged with DC. He's like yes or no.
And back to Mr. Gunn, he has released a statement about Superman Legacy. He was quoted as saying, Yes, I am directing Superman Legacy, to be released on July 11th, 2025. My brother Matt said when he saw the release date, he started to cry. I asked him why. He said, Dude, it's Dad's birthday. I hadn't realized. It'd
Is
been
his
a
dad
long.
dead?
Apparently, James Gunn's dad's dead, and the release date of the movie happens to
Wait,
be the day his father passed away. How
hold
His
odd.
on. Isn't
birthday.
All-Star Superman? Wasn't that the exact origin of the All-Star Superman book?
If
Isn't that
Huh?
pretty
so,
much
that's
what he
the mother.
based it off of?
If that's
Wait,
true,
wait,
that's the
wait,
mother
wait,
of
wait,
all
wait, wait, wait,
coincidences.
wait. Say that again?
Isn't that what Morrison originally based the like his experiences off of? Or was it Superman for All Seasons? Would be a different book. But I
No, no, okay,
remember
okay. You're confusing. You're confusing what this is saying. The date for the movie is July 11th, 2025. That is the exact same day that James Gunn's father passed
yes.
away. James Gunn's
No,
father. James Gunn
it's
just
his
didn't notice.
birthday.
Now
Oh, birthday. Sorry, birthday. Not his birthday.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, when Morrison originally was making All Star Superman, or it was made, I don't think it was all. It might have been All Star,
Yeah,
or it might have
Morrison wrote
been
All Star. Morrison wrote All Star.
no. But he also wrote Superman for All Seasons, which yeah, I might have been thinking of a different story, but we should probably go on to the next topic.
Well,
Sorry for.
I'm gonna finish his statement. You interrupted me midway through
Sorry
his
about that.
statement. It said, It's been a long road to this point. I was offered Superman years ago. I initially said no because I didn't have any way and felt unique and fun and emotional that gave Superman the dignity he deserved. It took a long road to even get to this point. I was offered Superman years ago, so I initially said no. He said the same sentence twice. Dang it. He need to pre-food his own sentences. Then a little bit less than a year ago, I saw a way in many ways commenced around Superman's heritage. Both his autocratic Kryptonian parents and his small Kansas farm parents informed who he is and the choices he made. So I felt to finally take writing that script, but I was hesitant to direct, despite the constant pressuring by Peter and others to commit. Sorry, Peter. Just because I write something doesn't mean I feel it's my bone, my visual and emotional enough to spend over 2 years directing it. especially not something of this magnitude. But the long and short of it is, I love the script. I am incredibly excited as we begin this journey. Hashtag up, up, and away.
You're showing a lot of passion for it, which gives me
Yeah.
a good feeling.
Yeah, we do know that
Because
James Gunn is a big Superman guy, so
Go ahead, Jacob.
because I love that story. It is my favorite Superman story ever.
What about
The
the
one they
movie?
based it off of.
What about the movie? What's your opinion on the movie?
I love the movie as well. I think it's fantastic. You talk about it as like Dwayne McDuffie did it as
Yep.
one of his last projects, but even on that, it's such a beautiful story. I think that perfectly encapsulates who Superman is. It's the quintessential story, in my opinion. Other than that,
So Ben Affleck says that the Justice League reshoots were he was quoted saying, "the worst experience I've ever seen in business, which led to a lot of shitty experiences. I just thought, this isn't the life I want. My kids aren't here. I'm miserable."
they really hated it. Did.
I mean, I can't blame him. He had to work with freaking Joss Whedon for
Uh,
even longer than he was contractually
yeah.
obligated to.
Well,
Good
he,
Lord.
he initially wasn't supposed to work with Whedon. He was supposed to work with Snyder on the movie.
Exactly. Then obviously directors had to change, and the rest, sadly, is history.
Back to Mr. Affleck. Ben Affleck says won't be directing a DC movie. Initially they said he might, but he no longer says. He said, "I have nothing against James Gunn. Nice guy, sure, but going to do a great job. I just don't want to go in and direct in the way they're doing that."
I mean, that's perfectly up to him.
You can't really
Obviously, he has no resentment towards James Gunn, so
Again, with Mr. Affleck, I got a lot of Affleck news today. Ben Affleck on shooting Justice League, the Snyder Cut, in Zack Snyder's backyard. Zack Snyder was like, "Do you want to do some shoots in my backyard?" I was like, "I think there are unions. I think we have to make a deal." But I went and did it. Now the Snyder Cut is my highest rated movie on IMDb.
how
End quote.
dare it? How dare it not be Daredevil?
Yeah, the greatest
Uh,
movie ever.
Michael Zingas, I think that's how you say this guy's name, is been casted to play Alberto Falcone in The Penguin. It can seem like they're really
Cool.
doing the long Halloween story in this Penguin show.
Which I'm not opposed to because I'm a big fan of the Long Halloween.
I should say they've done it half a dozen times now in media.
I mean, yeah, that's also true.
Ben Affleck says he is in The Flash for 5 minutes as Batman.
This guy get
Yeah.
a break. We could have a break.
Since, as you remember, DJ was not here for our last week, but we
Nope.
had some new comic announcements. Which one was a Hawk Girl announcement? A new Hawk Girl
Yeah.
book's coming out, and the writer says Hawk Girl is currently planned to be a 6-issue limited run, but so was Poison Ivy at the beginning. Now
That's on 12.
yeah. Now Kendra isn't Poison Ivy in terms of popularity, and I'm certainly not G. Willow Wilson by any measure. But DC editorial are open to more Hawkgirl if those first 6 issues sell well, and I'm certain to have more stories to tell. Sorry.
I mean, I like Hawkgirl. I'm glad she's getting more of a spotlight. Although I do feel that 6 issues is like the perfect time frame to tell at least one story.
Oh yeah, that's why I should only give Tom King 6 issues to play with. Give him
No
100.
more, no less.
No, don't give him 100.
God no.
We got the cover for Green Arrow #3, written by Joshua Williamson, which sees with the Arrow family versus the Peacemaker family.
Peacemaker has a family.
Apparently so.
Mhm.
Apparently it's going to be Speedy and I think it's Speedy and Peace Wrecker versus Black Canary and Peacemaker. Speaking of Peace Wrecker, after the success of Peacemaker, DC is bringing you Peace Wrecker.
Are they just introducing this character?
I guess so, because if you look at the image, her logo is literally a flipped version of the Peacemaker logo.
Okay,
Oh no.
not gonna lie.
Oh no, it's not. I thought it was, but no. His dove is upside down too. It's the exact same costume, pretty much.
Just a female
Okay,
in the suit.
There's a
that's just
female
kind of
version.
lazy. It's kind of lazy.
This
Coming-
next one's kind of exciting.
Coming this fall, read more about the world's okayest father in Batman Wayne Family Adventures with the physical book in your hands. First print volumes of this hit smash webcomic Vixen, New York, and Zatanna and the Rippers are also coming to bookstores from DC and Webtoons.
I don't know how you guys think about this, but I think this is pretty big that webtoons are getting printed. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, I've never read anything from Webtoons, but I know it's quite popular.
Yeah, webtoons is like they're basically like they have a weird business model. I don't use it personally, but I've seen it. They have a weird business model, but they've never been printed physically. Sometimes like different webtoons, like One Punch Man.
Yeah.
That was a webtoon originally.
Really?
Yeah, but it got a manga. It was turned into that. So there are different comics that get turned into physical print, but it hasn't really happened in the West here.
The
Yeah.
only webtoon I watched, again, it wasn't technically on Webtoon. They just a different version of the same book has been uploaded to there because it's easier to read. 5YL, 5 years later, written by the Ink Tank crew. The recalibrated version has been uploaded to Webtoons, which just makes it easier to read.
Yeah.
I just think it's pretty important if you love comics to see like webtoons was getting physical releases.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers is in early talks to acquire Nancy Meyer's $150 million rom-com. The film would have starred Scarlett Johansson, Owen Williams, Penelope Cruz, and Michael Fassbender. It is unknown if they will star in the film.
Good Lord. That's an expensive rom-com.
I
thought
think
they were
most of
supposed to
it's
be
going to the
cheap.
cast. I think most of it's going to the actors.
I mean, yeah. But still, I thought that was supposed to be cheap.
I recognize 3 out of the 4 names on this list.
Repeat them for me real quick.
Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
Owen Wilson,
Uh-huh.
Penelope Cruz,
Uh-huh.
and Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, I recognize them all.
The only
I-
one I don't remember is Penelope Cruz.
That's the one I don't recognize. I don't recognize her. Everyone
I
else I
recognize
recognize.
Fassbender from
Magneto.
and also from the Assassin's Creed movie where he plays Aguilar.
Bro, how do you remember the Assassin's Creed movie?
Because I've seen it, sadly.
I remember
I mean-
Owen Wilson. I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm a
Wow.
car. Oh, wow. I'm a car.
I'm not your bro.
And then everyone knows Scarlett Johansson.
No. What has she ever done?
But who's
And
Penelope Cruz?
Let me see if I can pull up a movie you might know her from. If you want to go ahead, Carl, go ahead to
Oh,
the
yeah,
next.
I understand this guy was not very well treated.
Not
But
Ray Fisher.
please shut up!
It's
Ray Fisher, shut up! He said, as the truth about Justice League reshoots continue to come out, it is important to remember the former and current DC film executives, thank
Try
you.
that again.
Executives that protected and supported Joss Whedon are not fit for leadership.
And then I love the comment down here. It says, I stand with Ray Fisher, and it's a Batfleck profile picture. You know exactly who that person is.
I know. I thought you meant the other one where it says, man, get a job. You'll see how everything happens.
Yeah, he seems like he just complains.
Like, I understand he felt attacked by Whedon. He wasn't treated very nicely by him. It's been 6 years. Give it a rest, please.
It was just Whedon, you know. Ay. Also, Penelope Cruz was in Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Never watched that.
Is that the girl?
Angelica? Yeah.
Angelica, yeah. Yeah, I know her then. I was watching this really good movie called Hell Collateral Beauty, and she played one of the main characters in that. I confused her for Natalie Portman.
Okay then. Awesome.
You gonna say something else, DJ?
I don't really see anything that you'd recognize her from, Carl, unless you're a fan of Matador's Mistress or Sex in the City 2.
Nope.
What about Zoolander 2?
No.
You made a second?
Yeah, apparently they made a second one. Or how about Sesame Street? Anyways, move on.
Next one we have is James Gunn has responded to the backlash claiming that he has casted his wife, Jennifer Holland, in every DCU project. He responded by saying, the only DC movie I ever cast my wife in was The Suicide Squad. I had nothing to do with the casting of other movies.
Which, that could be, like the guy who did the Resident Evil movies, put his wife in every single one.
Did that actually
Yeah,
happen?
it did. Yeah, you can Yelena Belova or something like that. But she's in every single one of his movies.
Huh.
Same with Helena Bottom was in a lot of Tim Burton's movies.
Okay, by that logic, not the wife essentially, but almost every movie Sam Raimi's directed, Bruce Campbell has had some cameo appearance in it, and no one complained to him about that.
No,
Exactly.
If for people who don't recognize her name, she played Harcourt in the Suicide Squad.
I don't think most people are gonna recognize that name.
She was also in the Peacemaker show. Tom Cruise asked David Zaslav if he could watch The Flash, and he loved it. Cruise called not Anthony, Andy Mussolini?
Muschietti.
It looked like Mussolini, and I don't think that's right. He told him, this is the kind of movie we need right now.
What is this like? This is what are they do? People just like gassing this movie up.
And
People are really acting like it's
This is the second
second coming
coming
of
of Christ.
Christ.
I was Jinx. I said something.
Good Lord.
People acting like it's the best one that this movie ever made. It's like it's a superhero movie.
an exclusive extended teaser of HBO Max's Phone High Revival will be shown at WonderCon 2023, March 24th
I
from
like
6
your
p.m. to
funny
7
words,
p.m.
Magic Man.
Based. You're wet.
Now, someone else has joined the train of answering people's comments on Twitter. Zachary Levi is now joined in this crusade.
Let's go.
Someone said, hate to tell you, James Gunn just took over all of DC's film production and said that the Shazam movies won't be included in his film universe. They were responded by saying, hate to tell you, my friend, but James said nothing of the sort. All conjunction coming from the Peanuts Gallery of Toxicity. A terrible place, really. Might I suggest spending less time in those waters and more in the searching for the truth? It's a wonderful endeavor.
And he put like a happy emoji at the end.
He did.
No,
Bro.
I like his joke. He's like, hate to tell you, my friend.
Well, actually.
And as you guys both know, you guys know of the Batman statue in Burbank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, now we're getting a Wonder Woman statue in Burbank.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty. I was about to say the same thing. That was pretty cool.
It says, this morning, visit Burbank and Warner Brothers Discovery unveiled a new Wonder Woman statue outside the WB Tour Hollywood. Visit the studio tour and grab a selfie with the city's newest superhero statue.
I mean, I like Wonder
No,
Woman, so that's cool.
know who doesn't have a statue in Burbank?
Superman.
Superman. You're right. It is
Screw you,
Superman.
Man of Steel. You're the Man of Steel, not the Man of Bronze.
And the last thing I have is they did an interview, comicbook.com, with the new creators of the Dawn of DC. And let me pull up the article.
That was a lot of DC news.
I'm not done yet.
I know, but like,
With some CBRS, what do you hope to accomplish with the new DC Dawn of DC initiative? Williamson responded by saying, we're coming out of the dark crisis and had just gone through a year of darkness. We have just getting to the end of that. We wanted to be bright and happy DC universe. We had a lot of goals to make the books to feel a bit more light and still feel heavy stakes and dangerous. When I look at a lot of the books I worked on, I don't want to go backwards. I want us to get down to do what we love about the characters and build on that, to add to that mythology and keep the ball going forward. I didn't want us to be like, we're done with Dark Crisis, now everything go back to the way it was before. We're already done with that story like that. And this initiative like that, with this one, I was like, listen, this is what I love about the characters. And put all the places on the table. That's something Philip Kennedy Johnson and I talked about a lot when we were doing Superman. I was like, let's get all the pieces back on the table and start something moving forward. With something like Green Arrow, the subtle of the Green Arrow is reunion. It's like all the things I love about Green Arrow. Getting back there. Getting all these characters that have been gone for the past 15 years, which is a long time for characters to be gone.
yeah.
Getting them back and moving forward and making sure the book feels like they have fun energy, funny tones, and find it funny. I set up that with the Dawn of DC. Then the first event I'm doing right after his night terrors, which is supported to be this horrific, scary, terrifying thing. But it's still really fun. It's got Deadman in it, and Deadman makes a lot of jokes throughout it. So it's still gonna be lots of fun. But yeah, but what the Dynasty DC was, we're looking at going forward, looking at books like the I lost my place. World's Finest, and look at the books you're getting with Nightwing and what Chip Zdarsky is doing with Batman, where it's with high energy and action, but also a new take on these characters. That's the kind of stuff I saw going with DC. I think you'll see a lot of going in the Superman books, and you'll see it in the Green Arrow when it comes out, and other books we're working on. Tom King responded and asked, "When I first heard of the Dynasty, I was like, God damn, Johnny Cage is finally coming over." And Chip Zdarsky's like, "Oh my God." King responded by saying, I'm working on that joke for 2 weeks. That's all I had. I didn't prep for the interview. That's all I had. I got distracted by the joke. I have no idea what this Wonder Woman series is going to be about. Chip Zdarsky, I'm leaving the Zoom. And that's about all they talked about.
So just trying to stick with what they're doing right now.
Pretty much. This is a long-winded article to go on that.
Yeah, really.
But I'm now handing off the reins off of DC back to the Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars section to my good buddy DJ.
Luckily, they're all very
Wait,
short.
what the hell?
First one is
And I'm handing it off to Jake.
Tron Identity is releasing on April 11th on PC and Nintendo Switch. I mean, I remember watching the 2010 movie and I was like a little kid. I don't remember much from Tron. People have more different feelings towards it.
Neither do I.
Club Penguin creator Lance Priebe says he's confident that the beloved online world will return one day. Disney helped Club Penguin expand worldwide and introduce millions of children to our exciting little world. I'm sad that it ended, but I'm confident it will one day return. Kind of sad.
Did you ever play Club Penguin?
I played a little bit of it.
I did.
I did not.
It was crazy.
I remember liking it when I played it.
You had to find those little fluffy son of a guns.
Yeah, Puff. I think they're Puffs.
Puffle.
Puffles, yeah. Demi Lovato is going to co-direct a documentary about child stardom for Hulu. The documentary will focus on the highs and lows of childhood stardom. Lovato will share their own experiences, and the doc will also feature interviews with other child stars. Which
it's an interesting topic for a documentary. Although I find it very not peculiar, but just interesting that Demi Lovato's
Demi Lovato is a child star.
Okay, yeah. that one makes sense.
Yeah.
I
hope she talks about aliens on it just for no reason.
What was your question, Jacob?
What show was she in?
What was she, a child star in?
Sunny with the Chance. That's what it was called.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Well, going back to Disney's live action Aladdin 2 is very unlikely at this point. Confirms Mena Massoud.
Please.
No more. This one's funny. A 9-hour cut of Avatar 3 is really returning to a limited series for Disney Plus that could release after the release of the theatrical cut in 2024.
My bro.
9 hours.
Somebody stop James Cameron.
Bro, this man is out of control. Like, seriously, the Snyder Cut, that's a 4-hour long movie.
Yeah.
What if we doubled it plus another hour?
That's not almost. That is a full-time job to watch that movie.
Working 9 to 5.
We're working 9.
No, working 8 to 6.
No, come on. Don't butcher Dolly like that, Carl.
Well, it's 9 hours. It's only 8 hours from 9 to 5.
Yeah, but it's not. No.
Working 9 to 5.
But the song is so much better. It was in Deadpool 2.
The Walt Disney Company is now the first company to have all their networks grammar? To have all their networks with next day premieres on streaming services in the United States. In addition to Disney Channel being included, all of Disney's TV networks are doing next day premieres with Hulu and Disney Plus.
I mean, if it had to be someone, it's going to be Disney.
I hate to say it, I disagree with that statement because I think there's a different company that did it first. Because technically, they did cut the contract with Disney, technically, but Comcast did it.
There? Question mark?
Well, the next day, all the Law and Order episode, which was an NBC/Comcast show, are on there the next day.
You're the Law and Order guy, so I trust you on that one.
Well, going on to Star Wars, actually, I'll save this one for last. Willow has been canceled by Disney Plus after one season, which I never watched it.
Neither did I. I'm kind of surprised it actually got canceled this early. early.
The Alakite season 1 will contain 8 60-minute episodes. Adelaide Wardrop is credited as the lead intimacy coordinator on all 8 episodes. I don't know what that means. Never heard that position.
Intimacy means like relationships kind of stuff.
You know,
Not
like
relation, like relation. Yeah.
That's definitely what they're talking about. But I like this one the most. Tony Christensen praises the Clone Wars and Dave Filoni's writing for Anakin. I think what David Filoni did with Star Wars or Clone Wars and Rebels is brilliant. I'm indebted to Dave Filoni because I think it helped the character of Anakin a lot. That's so true.
That's
Honestly, I remember that. Have I told you guys when I read the Dark Horse comics that made me understand him so much more? Like his turn to evil, and like that show also helped me understand his turn to evil so much more.
Exactly. If you just watch the movies, you're not even getting half the story.
It adds so much more context to why he's distrust the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Not to mention that, but it also makes him seem more human.
Yeah, especially because obviously I know people disliked her at first, but giving him Ahsoka, gave him that extra depth because obviously he was the Padawan before, and now it gave him a little sense of maturity almost.
Yeah.
No, because again, everyone in our little community knows I'm not a big Star Wars, and not that I'm not a big one, just I've not seen a lot of this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you've just described it sounds like Dick taking over as Batman and taking Damien as Robin.
Kinda, yeah. If Obi-Wan is Batman and Anakin is Nightwing and Ahsoka is that kind of makes sense.
That's why Revenge of the Sith is such a good movie when you have all the context.
Yeah,
because it's a fantastic way that darkness and power can corrupt someone.
It's honestly the ultimate climax of the series.
Yeah.
A good thing Disney kept Clone Wars and Rebels in continuity.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Mainly Clone Wars because that was on on Cartoon Network, I think, initially.
Yeah.
Not one of the Marvel. There wasn't too much in each of those. 5 new worlds will appear in Across the Spider-Verse, introducing Mumbattan, Nueva York, New London, Wentz Earth 65, and a secret new dimension that's being kept under wraps for now. Which I've read some Gwen comics from Earth 65, so I can talk about that kind of. But Nueva York, I've never heard of that.
That's
honestly,
that's 2099, sir. That's what he calls New York.
Oh, no,
Nueva York.
That's a good one. Then.
Honestly, I saw the trailer and this movie's looking awesome so far. I just hope they don't go overboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first one, Mabenda. I think that's Spider-Man. I think that's Spider-Man India's world.
It's supposed to be like Mumbai,
I guess.
Mumbai.
And I guess the other one could be Spider-Man UK.
Spider-Punk. Isn't Spider-Punk like British?
Or it could be Spider-Punk. You never know. I'm taking guessing. I don't know much about Spider-Punk or Spider-Man India. I'm taking a guess.
I'm fairly sure he's British.
Oh, he's based on Bobby Brown.
I don't know.
And I think Bobby Brown's
British.
I
know, actually, DJ, I think you'll love this one. Marvel Studios executive Stephen Brossard has teased more MCU horror projects. If I have anything to do with it, Marvel will continue digging into the horrorverse.
Yes, 1,000 times, yes.
And the odd one for this image is they grabbed 2 from Werewolf by Night and 1 from Far From Home.
Yeah, they brought Zombie Iron Man, which was just a Mysterio illusion, but whatever. But yeah, I'm all for this because Marvel has a huge catalog of horror-themed characters. Like, obviously, we saw a few in Werewolf by Night. We saw the aforementioned Werewolf. We saw Jack. We saw Man-Thing. We saw Elsa Bloodstone. But there's a whole catalog of other ones that we haven't seen yet. Obviously, we're getting the Blade movie. I don't know if you guys consider, but I consider him at least horror adjacent.
Yeah.
No, he is. He's on the Howling Commando team, which is the horror-based team.
And obviously, another one. I don't know if you guys consider this to be horror adjacent, but Ghost Rider. I mean, I dare say he kind of fits into that mold.
Midnight Suns, yeah, that makes sense.
And I would love to see stuff that includes people from like the Legion of Monsters. Get Manphibian, the zombie. They don't have to be in like their own movie or whatever, but just like as minor characters, And obviously we could get Satana Hellstrom, like getting the Hellstrom deal in there. Like I feel like they haven't really hit the potential of like the supernatural aspect yet, so that'd be really cool to see.
There's a next one. This is actually based. This name is from a comic, but called Vision Quest. Victor Mancha, the son of Ultron, will be the villain of Vision Quest. Victor Mancha will help out Vision with clearing out his his thoughts and emotions. I don't know.
I'm
It's
I
still
am not
White Vision.
I,
I'm not
I
interested.
I'm not interested in this show.
Amy Pascal says Across the Spider-Verse is a love story between Miles and Gwen. I there's a comic, a pretty one I've read where they do kiss and stuff, but
They hook up.
yeah, it's more like just a kiss, but like that's the whole comics about. It's like, did you kiss her? How did it happen? It's like, I'll explain to you how it happened, and then it's around like 2015, 2016, but it seems interesting.
I mean, that's sweet.
Marvel has asked a federal court. Wait, I can't even talk. Federal district court to issue a subpoena to compel Reddit to identify individuals responsible for leaking the Ant-Man and the Wasp script on r/Marvel Studios spoiler. Guys, we got to go to Reddit quickly.
And I love the comment here. Your Honor, my client was only farming karma.
He's trying to get likes.
Marvel's literally foaming over Reddit.
Alfred Molina, when asked if he is retired from the Doctor Octopus role, I can neither confirm nor deny. Somewhat interesting.
So either way.
And Mayor Wilson Fisk is a fugitive now. Apparently, in the comics, he's fled from the city, from New York City.
Apparently, he's in an X-Men book now.
That's the thing. I grabbed it because he's in X-Men. Why is he in the X-Men?
Why is he in an X-Men book?
This one's funny. Stephen Yeun confirms he will star in Thunderbolts. The intentions of a particular character that they wanted to play are very clear, and that's what drew me to the film. This is the guy from Walking Dead, Glenn. Also, the guy I think voiced Invincible. Also,
who could he play in the Thunderbolts?
I don't know. Marvel Studios is closing in. Okay, this is more about the Reddit stuff. They're closing in on the individual who leaked the script. Marvel's expected to do litigation against the persons responsible for leaking the script. Dude, Reddit is going crazy right now. They're really on a witch hunt. This year is pretty big for X-Men. It's the 60th anniversary.
Let's go.
So they announced more stuff about the Hellfire Gala, which I thought was already over. It might not be done. They announced the Uncanny Avengers, and it's an interesting lineup. You got Quicksilver, Psylocke, Rogue, Captain America,
Deadpool,
and two other people. I don't know them.
I believe that's supposed to be Abyss. I want to say.
I don't know who that is. You know more about the underutilized characters.
I know obscure characters, and I want to say that's Abyss. Either that or that's
DJ. That would be really helpful. It would be really helpful. Putting this on screen for our audience so they can help us figure out who these people are.
No. Look, I know it would help. Fine. I'll put it up here. I know who this character is. I want to say it's Abyss, but I could be wrong. And is that... I don't keep up with X-Men nowadays. Is that Scott? Is that Cyclops?
I don't read X-Men either.
I don't read it either. That's the thing. It's so deep. Negasonic, foreheads. Yeah. Is getting an Infinity Comics line. So
the one from Deadpool.
Yeah.
Negasonic Teenage. Your name is too long.
Unofficial X-Men. Find out why the new leader of Mutant Heroes is now Jubilee's problem in X-Men Unlimited.
Let's go. Big Jubilee fan.
Oh wait, it's never real life real life X-Men Hellfire Gala. That's pretty sick.
Okay, I can explain this one. They're doing the in-comics event again because they've been doing this Hellfire Gala in the comics every year pretty much.
Yeah, I heard about it last time.
They've been doing it ever since Hickman took over pretty much.
So since like 2019,
around that
18,
time,
right?
19-ish, around that time. It was right around the same time as Fox during the Fox deal. They were talking about it.
Yeah.
But this is where they'll ever be in person, so they'll have the in-person and the comics event happening at the same time.
The in-person one actually sounds kind of sick.
It's back at it again. Carnage reigns Omega. Cletus Cassidy finally gets what he's after. Unlocks the new terrifying possibilities with this Extremebiote armor. I didn't read that wrong, guys. It's Extremebiote. It's not a symbiote.
It's Extremebiote.
It's setting the stage for the next Venom epic. Miles Morales and his allies will learn the hard way that Carnage rules. And it's so edgy.
This is a death metal album come to life.
The fact they call it Extremebiote and not a symbiote. I'm not going to read the checklist because
on both hands, on one side I hate this, on the other side I love it.
I hate it. It's so bad.
It's an ironic love because, like, holy crap,
Extreme carnage.
holy crap, this is horrid. But at the same time, this is freaking funny.
The design is so bad.
Look at this dude.
You can put it on screen and just be
put this
funny.
one on screen so they can see
That would be
the
funny.
awesomeness of carnage.
I hate you both, but sure.
No, I think this one's funny to put on screen because we're just talking about how dumb it is. This extreme beote.
The extreme beyond.
This last one is interesting. He might have already just revealed when it's coming out. James Gunn has warned fans about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 next month. It'd be wise to be careful what you're reading on social networking sites starting at the end of April. Also, did you guys realize it's been like 6 years since the last Guardians movie?
That's kind of crazy.
I thought it was just yesterday.
But yeah, like it really has been that long considering the fact that was like a couple years before Endgame, and Endgame's
No,
ancient now.
Infinity War.
I said a couple years. Guardians 2 came out the year before Infinity War, I'm fairly sure.
I think so. I think that was a 2017 film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2017. Yeah, that movie is 6 years old. And coming next year, the first one will be 10 years old. It's nuts.
That's still one of my favorite Marvel movies.
That's nuts.
But I think it's up to you now, actually.
God, the universe rests upon my shoulders as it always
Yeah.
does. Let's talk about
It's life and
Optimum Prime, where they have statues of Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal in Transformers Rise of the Beasts at where is this?
Let me look that up because I don't recognize that anagram.
SXSW. Is this how kids spell sex nowadays?
It's South by Southwest. That doesn't sound right.
Southwest, I think maybe. Something like that.
Yeah, South by Southwest. It's a tech film and music education and culture event.
Huh. Well, they have
That's
Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal statues, so that's pretty cool.
They'll be gone at the time of our recording. Will be gone on Sunday.
Yep. Millie Bobby Brown says she is definitely ready to wrap up Stranger Things. Recently I watched a movie with her in it. Godzilla vs. Kong. I went and rewatched that one. I forgot she was in it. But I mean, that's cool. I like Stranger Things. It's good. It's good. Speaking of Netflix TV series, Jenny Ortega says that they're looking up to the horror aspect and then get Wednesday out of the romantic situation for Wednesday season 2.
Honestly, I agree. There was a romance aspect. I don't think it needed it very much. I think you'd love that series actually because it has a lot of horror aspects to it, horror mystery. That was the best part of it.
I do like me some Addams Family.
Yeah.
I mean, animated movies notwithstanding, those were kind of voodoo in my water. Jimmy Kimmel and James Cameron Jimmy Kimmel on James Cameron and Tom Cruise not appearing at the Oscars. The two guys who insisted we come to the theater didn't come to the theater. Sounds about right. and this guy's comment really here just really sums it up. The Academy Awards is not important. The movie theater is an important experience. These are not the same.
Yeah,
They are true.
Like,
that is true.
The Oscars, they don't matter. No one watches them anymore. They're only going on because of tradition.
It's just a way for the people who make the movies to speak with their peers. It's like an elite thing.
I mean, I would have said it more vulgarly than that. Apparently, I can't speak at all. But
none of us can tonight.
I mean, normally I would, if I was going to say it, I'd probably put like a big old censor bar over my tonal.
You can tell us off camera.
Yeah. Raid Shadow Legends, that one game that sponsors literally anyone, is being adapted into a 10-episode limited animated series for YouTube, sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, that's a coincidence. Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
I may have made that last part up, but Raid Shadow Legends is getting a YouTube series. I hope if I ever watched it, which I won't, that I get an ad for Raid Shadow Legends on it.
And then this next one is funny.
Oh, or the 4-hour ad I got one time.
Yeah,
More than once.
It's the ultimate inception.
This next one is funny to me because Tom Cruise can't take a joke.
Tom Cruise reportedly backed out from attending the Oscars because he heard Judd Apatow was helping write Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, but that wasn't actually the case. Apatow made a series of jokes at Tom Cruise's expense at the DGA Awards.
Bro can't even take one joke about himself. He tried to sue South Park over this.
Tommy boy.
Why does he
Get a
never
sense of-
sue Family Guy for the jokes he made against him?
He also,
Tommy
yeah,
boy.
he just doesn't like when people make fun of him, even though he's a public figure.
Just get a sense of humor. Vanessa Hudgens will return for Bad Boys 4. Apparently, this is becoming a franchise now.
Who knew the Bad Boys would become a franchise and be good
For
boys?
life. Kevin Hart gives a promise update regarding the Jumanji sequel. We're going to have to do it soon. I talked to The Rock the day before yesterday. Right now, we got the ball rolling on some big ideas. Another thing that's apparently becoming a franchise,
Jumanji.
the new Jumanji series.
For the record, people, the first Jumanji movie is not a prequel. It's the actual first movie in the franchise.
It's just the first movie. This one just continues on.
Did you know they made a spinoff movie too?
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
But the original one with Robin Williams is a classic. People should go watch that one.
I
Have
like the
fun trying to find
2017
it.
one. I like the new ones. It's just that they're
No. I like the new ones. I'm just saying that people sleep on the original.
And everyone thinks it's a prequel too.
It's not. I mean, technically, it takes place before in the timeline, but it's just the original movie, like you said.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino is preparing to direct his final film titled The Movie Critic.
honestly, I never really watched Quentin Tarantino stuff, but he seems like very interesting.
He seems like an interesting person.
But yeah, people are probably really hyped about this.
Amazon Prime members can see Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves 2 weeks early on March 19th.
Which is in,
Cool.
as of our date, 2 days away.
Yes. Tom Cruise attends Michael Caine's 90th birthday. Actual
Alfred.
dinosaur.
Alfred's 90 years old.
Yeah,
For
it's
real.
not DiCaprio judging this one.
But no, I think that's awesome. Like this man is an absolute beast. Quentin Tarantino's final film, The Movie Critic, follows a female lead in the late 1970s Los Angeles. So
Oh,
sounds-
this one's interesting to you. This is excellent.
Oh boy. Mortal Kombat and PlayStation fans should not expect to see Ellie from The Last of Us in Mortal Kombat 12 or any future games. Why? Well, Mortal Kombat boss Ed Boon doesn't want to see fatalities performed on the character. This may seem obvious that Ellie is a teenager in the first Last of Us game, but in the sequel, she's actually 19, which opens the door for her being in the game, like MK12. Ed Boon is quoted as saying, "Nope, I don't want to see fatalities on her. I mean, MK12? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, love when a guy is coy.
MK12.
I love Ed Boon. He's the man is trolling his own series. But yeah, no, Ellie from The Last of Us should not be in Mortal Kombat 12.
I also think she should.
What about
She's
Joel?
a child, basically.
And minus the age thing, what kind of play style would she have? She'd be boring to play as.
No, well, she'd use a lot of guns because Joel teaches her how to use guns. She would also she'd be able to use a lot of weapons, like random things around the world because that's what she had to use.
Yeah.
So she is a survivor, but still, like, who wants to see a girl get like?
Exactly. Like and this girl's 19. Like I think like the youngest character we've ever had in Mortal Kombat was like Cassie, and she's like 26.
Not just that, but it's a completely different tone. Like all the characters in Mortal Kombat are very fantastical. She's just a normal.
They're
she's a
over the
normal
top,
girl.
They're exaggerated.
She's a normal girl.
Exactly. Like, do you really want to see Ellie going up against Elder God Raiden, controller of thunder and lightning?
It would be like if you had like Naruto in it be a character in GTA. Actually.
Exactly.
It'd be like, what is this guy doing here?
Or put Negan from The Walking Dead in Tekken. Oh,
That makes sense. They did it.
oh wait. Joking aside on that one. But yeah, no, we don't put her in. I am excited for MK12 though. I want to see who gets put in the game. It's unclear how serious Ed Boon is, whether fans should take this just continuation. Yeah, he is also saying that there aren't many PlayStation characters that would seem likely to be good fits for Mortal Kombat 12 beyond Kratos of God of War fame, who previously featured in the 2011's installment. Sweet Tooth Twisted Metal could also be a good fit. Right now, the character isn't very relevant, though with a new Twisted Metal TV show in the works and a new game also being rumored to be in development, this could change soon.
Okay,
That's a
hear
good
me
start.
out. Hear me out. He's not an exclusive. Isaac Clarke from Dead Space.
What about Isaac Clarke?
Think about the fatality with the saw blade.
Actually, I
He
know
like
one that could
he
work.
stomps your head like a like one of the
Necromorphs?
monsters.
How about Aloy?
Aloy, she wouldn't work in
Aloy.
Mortal Kombat.
I mean, my list of Mortal Kombat guest characters is pretty low. I mean, you got to keep it realistic. Despite the fact that Marvel has a lot of violent characters, ain't no way Disney's gonna lend out any of them to Mortal Kombat. Like we
Deathstroke,
would,
Deathstroke, 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 Deathstroke.
I wouldn't mind seeing Deathstroke in an MK game, mostly because we haven't seen him since Injustice 1.
For good reason, because he had an annoying play style. Oh wait, no, he was replaced by Deadshot. It was even worse.
Yeah, Deadshot's even worse. Like,
Deadshot, 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 Deadshot.
no, Deadshot can go to
How
hell.
about Peacemaker? That might actually work.
That would work, honestly.
I don't
But
know.
when I think of like MK guest characters, I want someone who'd have like a very unique play style. Because obviously, a lot of characters, even in the Mortal Kombat universe, use guns. You know, you have your Sonya Blades, you have your Cassie Cages. Like even Spawn was not gun heavy, but he used guns in his offense.
Spawn
So
also made an appearance in Soul Calibur.
he
It's just
did.
weird.
I feel really bad for Spawn. He's relegated to guest like cameo appearances now.
He does have his own. I think he has a game or two.
He had the last game he had was on like the Dreamcast, I think. Unless he had like a mobile game or something. I can't be quoted on that. But yeah, someone like honestly, a Killer Instinct character in Mortal Kombat would be sweet.
You know, put Fulgor.
I was literally gonna say Fulgor, either that or
Nope, you were wrong.
Oh, what was I wrong on?
On Spawn video games.
What was the last Spawn video game that was made? Not game he was in.
2003, Spawn Armageddon.
I was gonna say that. I was thinking the Spawn Armageddon. I've heard of this.
For the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and the GameCube. All voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson.
No Keith David. That makes me sad, but fair enough. Yeah, like I said, someone like a Killer Instinct character could be pretty sweet. Because I mean, previous games we've had like action movie heroes, we've had comic characters. We've had horror movie characters, and barring Kratos, we've had like no video game characters. So get some video game guests in here. Bring like Rick Taylor, or you know what? Even bring in Isaac Clarke. And I mean, the Dead Space. Is it a remaster or a remake?
Remake, because
Okay,
it adds to the game and completely changes it. Oh, not completely changes, but changes the bad stuff.
Yeah,
There wasn't too much bad stuff in it, but it made it even better.
yeah. Maybe something like that could be cool.
Isaac
Moving
Clarke
on.
is in Fortnite. He's been in what's that called? Little Big Planet.
He was in Skate 3,
Yeah, dude.
the ultimate video game.
He was also in PlayStation All Stars.
Yes, and
For
so was
Kirk.
Kratos actually.
But I think this next one's really fun.
T-Mobile is acquiring Ryan Reynolds' prepaid wireless brand Mint Mobile.
Goodbye, Mint Mobile.
So much for offering cheaper wireless.
Yeah, have you seen those commercials?
I have.
The Mint Mobile.
I have seen the
He
Mint
gets
Mobile
bought out.
commercials.
It looks like his strategy didn't work.
I feel bad for Ryan.
He's a millionaire. I don't feel bad for him.
No, but still,
He
he's a
tried
sweet guy.
Yeah, he tried to do his own little business thing.
Jack Black has been casted Dear Santa with Bobby Farley set to direct. The movie follows a young boy who, in writing his letter to Santa, mixes up the letters and sends it to Satan instead.
That sounds funny.
Bro, I hope we get like tons of initial D references. You go digo 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 do do Mama Lucifer. Glenn Howerton stars in the first trailer for Blackberry. Film releases on May 12th in theaters. I don't know what this is about.
The BlackBerry, it's about the creation of the phone.
Yeah,
Remember the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one before the
For the iPhone.
the first one before the iPhone. You don't remember?
I know what a Blackberry is. I just didn't know what the movie was about.
I also learned something. There's another topic we have. It's about, you remember the Air movie with Ben Affleck set
Oh
to
yeah,
direct?
yeah.
That's about the shoe, the Nike shoe.
Yes, that is about. I saw the trailer for it. It was unremarkable.
You didn't find it interesting, Jake?
No, I
DJ?
didn't. No, I didn't. Maybe because I just don't find the tale of how shoes were made to be that interesting.
What did you think the topic of making how we got what was it called? Got Tetris interesting?
That's a completely different piece.
Are you
The first,
sure?
yes, I'm sure. The first trailer for DreamWorks' next movie, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, has been rated G with a 2-minute and 24-second runtime It's expected to release very soon. I said the movie was 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
It does.
But it's talking about the trailer.
Oh,
No, the movie. It has a 2 minute 2 runtime.
That's not a movie.
That's a movie, dude.
No way. It's a trailer.
it's a short film.
No, it's a movie. The movie underline this tells the story of a shy 16-year-old named Ruby Gilman who learns that she is the next in a legendary line of royal sea krakens. Despite her lofty destiny, all Ruby wants to do is fit in. At school, she falls for a skater boy that's tutoring, who shows no indication of feeling the same way about her.
He was a skater boy. She said
That's the exact thought I had. I hope they play that
Avril
song.
Lavigne song in the making over here.
I hope they play that song in the movie. Lana Condor, as in the
Yeah.
bird, and Toni Collette are along in the cast of the upcoming movie.
What movie?
For that movie.
Oh,
For that movie.
For Ruby Gilman.
oh,
Yeah.
this one's funny.
Advisory warning: if you have children in the room, please cover their ears. A guest shouts, "This movie fucking sucks" during a Q&A at the premiere for Evil Dead Rise. Bruce Campbell tells him to get the fuck out of here.
Know what he should have
Let's-
said to him?
Let's go, Bruce.
Know what he
What?
should have said, DJ? He
What?
should have said, buddy, go to DJ's house and go get some cookies from him.
Carl,
Why would
it's
you
too
say
early
that?
for that.
Why would you say that? You would never.
Wait, we still have the advisory warning up. Carl, it's too early to say that shit.
No, it's not too early. We're about in the miscellaneous section. I haven't said it yet.
Well, at least you got it out of the way.
Yes, I did.
But yeah, awesome of Bruce Campbell to say that. I mean, we don't know how good the movie's gonna be. It's not out yet, but give it a chance, won't you? The late great Power Ranger star Jason David Frank's final film, Legend of the White Dragon, sets fall release. Brian Cox on the acting method. I don't put up with all that American shit. I'm sorry. All that sort of I think, therefore I feel. Just do the job. Don't identify.
True. It's based.
The based opinion.
That's a based opinion on method acting.
He's literally calling out Jared Leto and Keith Ledger.
And Christian Bale.
When did Bale do that?
He for like
Rashida.
roles like he like starved himself for a role.
To be
for
fair,
that one
Christian
movie.
Bale is like an actual like superhuman.
But he's very hard to method acting.
Yeah, I don't think method acting inherently is a bad thing, but there's definitely people who take it too far, like Jared Leto. I
And
don't
even
think that was-
even technically, Keith Ledger took it too far.
yeah, I mean his performance was spectacular, but yeah, I do agree he took it a bit too far.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. This sounds like a movie that I would have created like 3 years ago. Anne Hathaway will star in an 80s dinosaur movie directed by David Robert Mitchell that will be shot in IMAX. J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot is producing the film. I had to reread that.
I've seen that guy in something.
What have you seen him in?
Oh, he's in The Rookie. I've been watching that show. He's in The Rookie.
Well, fair enough. But yeah, I want to see the Anne Hathaway dinosaur movies. Let's go.
Would you rather see that, or would you rather see Angelina Jolie in a superhero movie?
Definitely Anne Hathaway in a dinosaur movie, especially since it's in the 80s, apparently. Maybe it'll be like a reboot of Tina the T-Rex. That'd be
Okay,
awesome.
you know that was a reference to something right? Angelina Jolie joke.
Haven't the faintest clue.
Really?
Nope.
Okay, you tell me you're joking.
Am I?
I can tell by a smile you know what I'm talking about.
Am I?
Jacob, do you know what I'm talking about?
I want to
I
hear
might
the words.
have a
Carl.
clue.
I want to hear the words, Carl.
That she was in The Eternals is not a big secret.
Oh,
And it's not a bad movie either. Most people hated it. Is it not a bad movie?
How dare you?
how dare you? I haven't watched it, so I can say.
Also, some sad news here. John Wick star Lance Reddick has passed away. James Gunn sent out a tweet saying how Lance was an incredible guy and an amazingly talented actor. Same goes for Keanu Reeves, as they're deeply sad and heartbroken. I don't. No cause of death. From what I have here.
I think what I've heard, I think it was natural causes.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
as
he was
as people know, they finished filming for John Wick 4, so he'll still be in that. But
Yeah.
according to a different article, they had just finished production on season 1 of Percy Jackson and the Olympian for Disney
Yeah.
Yes, so that'll be his last final project, unless there's anything else still in the pipeline.
Also really sad news. Sam Neill says he's been undergoing treatment for stage 3 blood cancer. The cancer is now in remission. So that's the
Ooh.
good news, but still very scary to hear that he had it.
Okay, now I give that guy credit for looking so good in that Jurassic World Dominion film.
Dominion Rise of Gru.
Shut up.
But yeah, honestly, Sam Neill is the GOAT.
Sam Neill is a great. He plays a great role in that movie.
He does.
I quite enjoy it.
Robert Rodriguez, crime thriller Hypnotic, starring Ben Affleck. We can't escape this man either. Releases on May 12th in theaters. Project 007 will be the origin story for James Bond. Peacock has renewed Bel Air for season 3. I'll say this. I'll say this one. Then we'll get into like the last group of things. The team behind Hellboy, Web of. How do I pronounce this?
Web of Bird.
Weird.
Word.
Word. We're going with word because the bird is the word.
Let me see. Let me look at it again.
It's
I have it open.
WYRD. So word.
Come
Okay.
on, computer.
That-
Type it into the chat. So, Jacob, type it into the chat. No, never mind. I got it. That's right. Okay, for the record, that is not a word. You know why?
But
You know how
we're trying to. Is it pronounced word?
it's not a pronounced word at all. You can't pronounce it at all. There's no vowels.
Word. No, you got
Why
to
is
make
a vowel?
assumptions.
Why is not a vowel?
Why is a vowel?
It's a consonant.
No.
Well, okay, I just assumed the word is silent. Okay, that's what I assumed.
Okay. Hellboy, Web of Word is paying tribute to Lance Reddick, who plays the titular character in the game. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Now, we'll get into my last group of things, which is pretty much going to be DJ's Wrestling Corner for the next 5 minutes. Because I actually have a list of some wrestling news I can go over since I am a big fan of the wrestles. Some more matches have been announced for the upcoming WrestleMania 39, which will be happening on April 1st and 2nd. Matches so far across the 2-night events are Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yes, Logan Paul is in this.
Someone shoot him already.
You go to hell. You go to hell. You gonna die. 2 WrestleMania showcase matches, which are Fatal 4-Way tag team matches. A 6-woman tag team match with Trish Stratus, Lita, Becky Lynch, and Damage Control. Edge will be facing Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. Brock Lesnar will be going against Omos. Bianca Belair will be going against Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Charlotte Flair will be facing the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, Rhea Ripley, for the SmackDown Women's title. Gunther will be going against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus for the Intercontinental title, formerly known as the Banger Bros, until WWE got smart and realized that name is inappropriate out of context.
I think it's pretty funny.
Just 2 bros banging, And main event of night 2 will be Roman Reigns versus Cody for the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed Universal Championship. Also, previous Friday before that will be the WWE Hall of Fame. Currently, we only have 2 individuals being announced, that being Rey Mysterio, who will be inducted by Conan, and the Great Muta, one of my personal...
Conan, the comic book character?
No, Conan,
the Barbarian. The Barbarian.
You know what? Sure. Because that actually
And
sounds
I love
better.
Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian is inducting Mysterio. And also one of my favorites, the Great Muta, who'll be inducted by Ric Flair. I'm not going to spend all the time listing their accomplishments. But also, I had it here for a moment because I thought this would get a chuckle out of Carl. Celebrities from other entertainment fields will be involved in various roles, including performances of America the Beautiful. On night 2, country singer Jimmy Allen will sing America the Beautiful. Carl, do you know who Jimmy Allen is?
I do know who Jimmy Allen is.
How does this make you feel? Because I know jack nothing about country music.
Yeah, it's okay. Jimmy Allen's relationship to country music, the tangent off of that for just a second, is the story. Everyone knows good old Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
And we know his children. Everyone knows their children. His children. His more famous ones is Miley and Noah Cyrus.
Yeah.
Noah Cyrus is a pop star whose father was a country singer. Jimmy Allen is the reverse. His father was a pop artist and he is a country artist.
Gotcha.
He did I give him my best shot, something like that.
Say that again, Jacob?
I don't know how the melody goes, but he did that song like Best Shot.
Yeah, I did a song like that, yeah. But that's about all I know about Jimmy Allen.
Fair enough.
He's on the poppy side of country music.
Yes,
Makes sense.
this year's WrestleMania 39 will be taking place out of Hollywood. The last time they did that since WrestleMania 21, with the tagline literally being WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. And it'll be
Title,
streaming on.
the title should be WrestleMania Goes to Hollywood 2.
Yeah, call it WrestleMania Goes Hollywood 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yes, it will be streaming April 1st and 2nd on Peacock. So,
Is that how you watch
PMB
everything? Actually, you watch it. Is that how you watch everything on there on Peacock?
yes, through Peacock.
the
So no
paid
longer on live
version.
TV.
It's sorta like it streams live.
Yeah, he has
But
to get the paid version.
yeah, but whatevs. But that is all the news we have for you today. So on behalf of my friends Carl and Jacob, this is your favorite Southern Californian son, signing off.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Peace, y'all.